I am convinced that not a single grant would be funded at this university were it not for the assistance of clerical staff in producing them. Not a single class would take place if not for clerical staff reserving rooms, producing syllabi, typing tests, maintaining records. Not a single student would get registered for a class, receive financial aid, buy books, get a dorm room assignment, get a grade, or graduate without clerical staff. Not a single meeting could take place were it not for clerical staff who juggle dozens of schedules, reserve rooms, produce agendas, type minutes, order food. This meeting today could not happen without clerical support.
If you think anyone can do our jobs, go to OTR, go to OSFA, go to any department on campus with clerical and technical vacancies, and you will see frustrated students and worn-out, frazzled staff members struggling to keep pace with constant change. Over the last 20 years, we've brought the university into the computer age. We're the ones using PeopleSoft, Forms Nirvana, and Cuffs. We're the ones stringing the wire that connects the U to the World Wide Web. We're the ones preparing and printing the paychecks. We're even the ones who made the first business-to-business online transaction that took place as part of Technology Days 2000 reality. The fancy web front end you see can't get the job done without clerical workers cleaning up the accounting mess left in its wake.
I've seen administrators lamenting the fact that a program no longer has any continuity of knowledge because of long-term employees leaving. They'll expend much energy attempting to locate information that those long-term employees could rattle off in a few seconds, but we'd rather recreate the wheel and waste more time and money than to appreciate and reward the work done by dedicated staff and make every effort to retain them. It is high time that the university acknowledge the work done by support staff, particularly long-term employees.
No matter how hard I worked or how often I exemplified my desire to advance out of a position that should have only been a stepping stone to positions that would utilize my skills and years of experience, I was held back. And of course, as a result, my earning capacity was seriously curtailed, which necessitated taking on additional employment to supplement my earnings to better care for my family. For the last 3 years, I've worked 2 jobs. Daily, I start work at 3 a.m. That's my part-time job. My full-time job at the U is where I'm expected to start at 7:45. You can understand this makes for very long days.
I've spent my entire adult life at the University of Minnesota. I don't think I have an extravagant lifestyle. I drive a 1989 car. I buy secondhand books or borrow them from the library. I shop at garage sales. I enjoy the theater and have traded some of the tickets I used to buy for ushering to get in free. I work hard to remain debt-free except for my mortgage, but in order to achieve this financial stability, I have to have a second job as a newspaper carrier. It's a struggle to get up at 4 a.m. every day to pick up and deliver newspapers. I'm perpetually sleep deprived, and although I have a commitment to doing an excellent job here at the university, I have less energy to go beyond my job description in my contribution to the university, to my neighborhood, and to my city. If I, as a single person with a relatively small mortgage and a very low interest rate, struggle to make ends meet, think how much harder it is for university clerical families with children to feed, needing daycare, family health insurance, and higher mortgages to survive.
I'm a single divorced parent with no other source of income. I have tried at various times to work more than one job and have had up to as many as 3 jobs at a time. Now, next month, my rent goes up $40. Already, it takes more than 1 paycheck just to pay the rent. I don't know when I have had the luxury of buying a decent dress just for work. Going away on a real vacation is just a figment of my imagination. The university offers benefits for optional retirement and continuing education, but I don't have any spare money to invest in alternative retirement plans, and I don't feel I will ever be able to retire. I'd love to continue my education on a Regents scholarship, but I can't even afford to buy the books.
I have been at the university 30 years come this September, and in that time I've received an Outstanding Civil Service Award and the Star Award. Also, I've never received less than the top rating during my job review in all these years. I myself had to take on 2 additional jobs to make ends meet. That's 84+ hours a week. I am a single parent of 1 son and have had to bear the total expenses of his upbringing. It has been a struggle to manage.
I'm a full-time principal secretary with 20 years of experience, earning $12.67 an hour, $26,000 a year. I am divorced and I'm raising 2 beautiful daughters on my own. To make ends meet for extra income, I work for the Minnesota Twins part-time.
I'm also a single parent. I work 40+ hours a week here at the university. In addition to that, I work 25 to 30 hours a week at another job. That leaves my son home 2 to 3 nights a week by himself, and on most weekends by himself. Last year, my department advertised for 2 clerical positions in my unit. Most of the people we tried to hire turned us down because our salaries were not adequate for them.
Just this week, in preparing for this to speak here, I had a conversation with a clerical co-worker new to the university a year ago. She told me she was hired at the rate of $12.65 an hour. She was insulted by the salary, but took the job thinking she'd be able to advance. I thought about my own experience. After 20 years of service, I have yet to receive the rate of pay that so legitimately insulted her. After 20 years at the university, I earn $11.85 an hour.
After 19 years at the university, I make $11.25 an hour. My house payment is more than half the paycheck every month. I drive a 9-year-old car and have no savings.
If I can't afford a car to get to work, if I can't afford groceries to feed my family, there's a problem. And I don't believe it's with my budget.
When wages at the University of Minnesota, a supposedly public state institution, remain at poverty level year after year after year, I feel it is my duty to take a stand and publicly speak out. I've worked as a staff person at the University of Minnesota since 1985, and I've held several student positions before that. I have a BA degree, and I've been involved in clerical work since the age of 15. When I did my 1999 income taxes, I became really depressed when I realized that my adjusted gross income only came to $22,107.
I'd just like to share with you that in December of 1999, I received a 2% step increase. However, in January this year, 2000, I underwent a 50% increase in health premiums. As of right now, I am taking home $5 less. I'm here to say that is why you guys need to make our salaries a priority. Thank you.
We are told there's no money in the budget, that we have to rely simply on what the legislature agrees to give us. Yet money can be found in the budget to create new vice president positions. Money can be found to retain a winning football coach, even if the price tag is $1 million. Money can be found to give the moon to star researchers to keep them from leaving the university. Money can be found to buy out a corrupt basketball coach's contract.
Historically, when a group decides to dehumanize another group, the rules of fairness change. There becomes the mentality of them and us. Those in power believe themselves to deserve a better life, a better standard of living than those whose lives are out of necessity, spent primarily on the struggle to make ends meet. This is wrong. There should be no such barriers within the university community.
Think of the university as a very large and complex bus, a school bus. There are many parts that go into the making of that bus that contribute to its smooth operation. We clericals and technicals know that we are not the high-priced engine and transmission, and we accept that. But neither are we the glove box, the AM radio, or the floor mats on that bus. And yet that is the way we are treated, economically and in the workplace, as if the work we do and the services we provide are insignificant, as if we are insignificant. But we are the 3,000 small yet vital parts of that bus. The spark plugs, wires, and distributor, the battery, the alternator, and the starter, the hoses, radiator, and fan belts, all the nuts and bolts that hold it all together, all the things that do their jobs day after day, largely unnoticed, until they break. And when that happens, the bus, with its Mercedes-priced engine and transmission, and its fancy new body and shiny new paint job, and its well-paid chauffeur will sit, broken down, because somebody thought all the rest of the parts of the bus were insignificant. The clericals and technicals who have come here today to tell you that the human infrastructure of this university is breaking. It's time for this university to pay its clerical and technical workers a living wage. We are the warning lights on the dashboard of your bus, and we are flashing red. It's time you paid attention. Thank you.